Genetic recruitment. You would better recruit liaison. Gentle remember this is Mentos. This new and two pure beautiful pictures. Do you hear? And say this new. Should segment with that hand. The folk could be YouTubes. Dude, this appeal befall us. Or you would call the thing catching them. Or that's what you involved with Rimwood Man here. James Bond. Ruthless Doctors. Secret map here. And secret room. Careful. Lies my match with this man.